This next individual has redefined what leadership looks like in real estate. At an age when most are still finding their footing, he has already built a reputation as a standout professional. Please welcome a true example of next generation leadership and purpose-driven success, Sebastian Winfield.
Good morning, everyone. Very excited to be here. Before I get started, really wanted to just say thank you to the entire Fusion team, and also James for giving me the opportunity to be speaking up here on stage for you all today. This is actually my first time speaking in front of a big group of people, so I'm really excited to share my story with you guys. And yeah, so let's get started here. So I want you all to picture this. 24 years old, father who built $1 million real estate business from scratch, walks into your office and says, "It's time. Business is yours." You should feel excited, right? Honored, ready to conquer the world. Instead, you feel like you're going to throw up. That was my reality around this time last year. My father had just become one of Fusion's first partners to reach the profit taker phase, which is what a lot of us Fusion partners here are, striving to reach, right? That ultimate goal where the business is running without you. He was ready to step back and chase new dreams, as you guys already heard a little bit him talk about with military operated real estate, which I'm super proud of him for starting and, growing that. It's really, really exciting to see. But the problem is that his chosen successor was me. And if it were me you were asking at the time, I was not ready. Here I was supposed to lead a team of seasoned professionals, people who'd been selling homes since before I could even drive. And naturally, the voice in my head was relentless. They're going to figure out you don't belong here, you're too young, too inexperienced, you didn't earn it. But here's what happened next and why your story for growth and transition does not have to look like everyone else's. When I first started taking on leadership responsibilities, I felt like I was playing dress up in my dad's suit. Every team meeting, every client conversation, every business decision felt like I was one mistake away from being figured out. I wasn't just managing people, but I was also managing the financial responsibility, the process management, and the weight of other people's livelihoods resting on my decisions. It was suffocating. But my father saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself. He had more faith in my abilities than I did. And sometimes that's exactly what we need. Someone who sees our potential before we even do. The turning point wasn't one magical moment where everything clicked. Life doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Instead, I got thrown into the deep end with no choice but to swim. And here's what nobody tells you about taking over a successful business. You don't become ready, then take the leap. You take the leap, then become ready. 3 months after taking control of the business, something shifted. I took time to sit back and reflect, and I realized that constant anxiety and that voice in the back of my head was gone. Not because I suddenly earned some credential or hit a milestone or anything like that. It disappeared because I realized I'd been leading the team all along, and I'd finally noticed. But here's the secret. I wasn't leading from a corner office with a fancy title. I was leading from the trenches. I chose to work alongside my team, not above them. When they have problems, I roll up my sleeves and we get to work and we solve them together. When they need guidance, I give it, not because I have all the answers, but because I care enough about their success as much as I do my own. And here's the critical piece. I made sure I was adding so much value to their businesses and their lives that they have complete freedom to do what they do best, which is ultimately to build more relationships and serve more families. This isn't just feel-good leadership philosophy. This is Fusion's first fundamental in action, becoming the professional you would hire. And here's the truth. You don't become that person by impressing people with your authority. You become that person by serving them with your heart. But I wasn't doing this alone. James Becker and the entire Fusion team, they become the backbone of our team's transformation. Fusion's helped me structure our team splits to incentivize excellence and delegate responsibility so clearly that everyone knows exactly how they're contributing to our collective success. When you have systems that support excellence, leadership becomes about empowerment, not micromanagement. Since taking on my new role, we've grown the team by 1 agent and 2 administrative staff, and we just completed our record first half of the year serving 63 families. And now we're on pace to serve over 120 families by the end of this year. This isn't luck, this isn't market timing. This is the direct result of systematic relationship nurturing that never stops, never wavers, and never lets a valuable relationship slip through the cracks. And the 2 agents on my team having record-breaking years, they're the exact same 2 that I've enrolled into Fusion's new associate program. So now they have the same access to the same marketing approach that we have. So their entire sphere of influence and database is getting consistent, valuable touch points. The correlation isn't coincidental, it's causal. Systems create results, leadership amplifies them. Now here's where I want to get tactical with you all and give you guys one little nugget to walk away with, is I see agents everywhere struggling to build referral-based businesses. And they're missing one crucial element, and something that my dad touched on a little bit, is lack of communication and just check-ins. So, like he mentioned, the terrific Tuesday update is something that I live by religiously and do every single week. And usually, at the end of each call, I ask them one question: how is the team doing for you on a scale of 1 to 10? If I get anything less than a 10, obviously I'm not hanging up until I know exactly what I got to do to make that a 10 the next time I call. But as long as I do get a 10, I follow with the simple script. I'm so happy to hear that. I've really enjoyed working with you as well. Who do you know right now that are your friends, coworkers, family members that are looking to make a move here in the next 3 to 6 months? And I shut up and let them answer. Forces them to give a yes or a no. This simple script, which I learned from Brian Shudo, who you guys are going to hear from here later today, has become one of my primary referral generation tactics. It's systematic, it's intentional, and it works because it comes from a place of genuine service, not a desperate sales tactics. But here's what I really want you all to understand. At the core of everything we do, running teams, serving families, building businesses, we're working with human beings, not transaction numbers. I watch too many leaders in our industry chase commissions and forget the people who generate them. They optimize for short-term profit and sacrifice long-term relationships. They manage spreadsheets instead of leading hearts. My father taught me something that's become the foundation of everything we do. And that is, if you chase the money, you're never going to catch it. But if you're truly righteous about putting people first, the money will follow. This isn't just nice-sounding philosophy. This is business strategy. I built my entire leadership approach around this truth. And I work with everyone to ensure, clients and team members, to ensure that they're genuinely happy with the direction that we're moving. I will never, ever sacrifice someone to get to a commission check. And this is Fusion's 15th fundamental in action as well, taking personal responsibility. Not just for my actions, but for my team's success, my client's satisfaction, and the culture that we ultimately create together. When someone on my team wins, we all win. When someone struggles, that's my opportunity to ultimately lead better. So as you guys leave here today, I want you also to do something that will change how you see your life and your business. And this exercise has always brought me back to a place of gratitude, which is something that we all need in our lives. You know, being realtors, it's hectic, right? So take a couple of moments real quick and just think back through your life. Pick out your biggest wins, the moments that change your trajectory, the opportunities that open doors, the breakthroughs that elevated everything. Now connect the dots. How did those wins actually happen? Pick out your, I guarantee that if you think deeply enough, you'll trace every significant success back to a relationship of some sort. Maybe a new connection who saw your potential, a brief interaction that opened your mind. People are the reason anyone becomes successful. Not systems, not strategies, not tactics. Although those amplify success, people create success. So just over a year ago, I thought I wasn't ready to lead. And today I'm running the team of my dreams and working with people that I absolutely love. The difference isn't that I suddenly became qualified. The difference is learning that leadership isn't about having all the answers. It's about caring enough to find them alongside your people. You might be sitting here thinking you're not ready for the next level of your business. You might struggle with imposter syndrome like I did, or feel overwhelmed by the responsibility of growth. That's not a weakness, that's awareness. And awareness is the first step towards any transformation. So here's my challenge to you all. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Start leading from the trenches. Take personal responsibility for everyone's failures and successes. Never forget that people come before profits. And lastly, remember this. If you chase the money, you're never going to catch it. But if you're truly righteous about putting people first, the money will follow. Thank you.